and welcome to Daytime Talk After Dark. Happy Friday. My name is Al Jackson, but that is unimportant. What is important is that I am joined, as I've been all week, filling in admirably, Michael Dean, our executive producer. How are you, Michael?
I'm good.
Weekend plans?
I'm not really sure. Probably something low key and not active, like throwing half your house away in a dumpster.
Yes, you had quite the weekend last weekend, and I'd like to just stay on that topic because people are throwing shit out everywhere, apparently. Even the White House, where a fixed camera that just focuses on the front of the White House, which is kind of weird, but it caught an object being thrown out of the White House.
Yeah, second story window.
It was the weirdest thing. It's like the White House, it looked like somebody got caught cheating in the Bronx.
It's really strange. And I don't know why whoever threw something out of the window thought that something like that would go unnoticed. It's
Right.
Probably one of the most watched buildings in the world,
Yes.
considering the fact that is where the president lives.
Yes.
And also it's kind of trashy, right? Like,
It's a bad look.
yeah, I mean, like,
It's
what
a
are the
bad
reasons
look.
for throwing things out of a window?
Cheating.
Right.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Unless
Unless there's a fire. Like, you can throw things out the window if there's a fire.
yes, maybe it's got to be cheating or when somebody is fed up with a gamer. I could see a console being thrown out, but that would be
Or, like, some
taking
sort of-
your life into your hands.
Some sort of, like, drug-fueled meltdown.
Right.
Like, throwing the TV out the window. Or, like...
Metallica
Right.
behind the music.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of the strangest things. And it's just like this White House just can't have a moment of peace. I know that
Or class.
class, and just like well, I will ask, has anybody ever thrown an item of yours out of a residence, or have you thrown someone's, article of clothing, anything of value to them, out of a residence?
I can't think of a single incident where I threw something out a window. Immediately my mind would go to, well, why would I do that? I just have to pick it up later.
Right. Yeah. It just seems like you're doing it for the affect to let the person know that you're
Right.
done with whatever behavior is causing you to do that. It's just weird, and it's weird that the White House said that a contractor.
Yeah. So this is the official word is that an object was thrown out of the window by a contractor who was doing regular maintenance while the president was gone.
Okay, they had to
Regular maintenance. So that immediately makes me wonder, does that happen all the time then if this is regular?
And if so, then why wouldn't? If the contractor said what you saw was a little bit of, insulation that they were getting rid of. One, interesting way to do it. Two, that looked a little bit heavier than insulation. And three, you wouldn't do it because it's the White House. It's probably the most significant building that we have.
Who knows who's walking outside that window who might get hit by this object too? Because, the White House is like a functioning building where a lot of people work,
Right.
And people visit, and yeah,
It's
not a normal house.
It was embarrassing and weird, and I would like to have you guys' thoughts as to what it was. Please take a look at the clip. We have looked at it. We talked to Nick and Jacob here at Dude IDK. I was thinking they had some kind of special technology to zoom in on it, but it looked like a doll's dress. I couldn't tell what it was.
It was too big to be a doll's dress. I mean, it almost looked. An article of clothing crossed my mind. There was a ton of speculation online that this was Melania throwing something out. Some even speculated that it was Melania being thrown out, which I think is, of course, a joke. Obviously, it's a joke.
She'd have to be there. It's just amazing how she is just skated on no showing this presidency. When you see Melania, it's kind of like when all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan are at a concert and you're like, hey, you just can't believe that she's there. You never see her. Um, but yet, like, there's no speculation as to, you know, if Michelle Obama was seen as few times as Melania, they'd be like, this is disrespectful. She didn't even live in the White House. How dare they? Melania just, like, everybody knows that is not her primary residence. Like, she swings by there the way, like, somebody that rents a house just to make sure no one's punching holes in the wall. But she is not there on a night-to-night basis. Michael, what else do you want to talk about?
Oh, that's a great question. So this happened earlier this week, and it is a terribly sad story. This happened in Houston. An 11-year-old boy with some of his friends were doing this is a old school prank, the door knock, ding dong ditch prank, old school prank. It's, again, trending on TikTok. So it's going around, and a 42-year-old Texas man shot him. But it wasn't like immediately. He shot him while the kid was running away up the street.
Right.
So he was in the street, and the kid was shot allegedly in the back by this man.
Right. And so now he's
facing
up on murder charges.
He's facing murder charges. Yes,
as he should be.
It's shocking that your immediate reaction to someone. I mean, the kid was banging on his door. I mean, that's kind of startling. But you go outside and someone's running away, and you're like, "Oh, I'll shoot them." It seems a little weird. Like, seems like the problem is running away from you.
Right. I mean, you're not
self-defense.
worried about. Yes, it's not self-defense. We saw this a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember. There was like a series of stories. Remember, there was that one. She was a teenage, maybe early 20s, young white female. She was the passenger in a car that was turning around in a driveway, and the guy started shooting while they were in the driveway.
Like, she just got lost and needed to turn around the
driveway.
Right,
they were turning around. They were going out to have fun that night.
Yeah.
And he killed her. And I just think, and I'll always remember a friend of mine, we were talking about firearms, and I was like, oh, do you own a gun? And he was like, never have. And I was like, why? And he said, because I knew when you have stuff like that, eventually you're going to want to use it.
Right. And I mean, I guess they executed a search warrant, and they found a lot of weapons in this gentleman's house. So, I think that there are a lot of people who get sucked into these, conversations or these online worlds where it feeds them things that, are good for numbers on those websites, but it just makes people paranoid, and believe crazy things are going on. I mean, other than the crazy things that are actually going on.
Right.
But like conspiracy type things. And the solution is to buy the guns, which are, advertised alongside some of that content. And, it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in something like this.
Right.
I mean, banging on your door.
But just the thought process that somebody bangs on your door, you realize it's a kid running away. So you go, you get a gun, you load it, and then you walk out to the middle of the street, and you're looking at this person's back. This is a moving target. This isn't somebody even on your porch, waving an object you can't define. I'm pretty sure that you can tell this person is a child, and you still take the shot. Even taking a shot as a warning shot in the air.
Right.
To fire a gun in a neighborhood is just a bad idea, bro. It's a bad idea. But to aim and shoot a kid, this guy's 42 years old. His life is over. Everybody that he knows, lives are forever changed. And it's like, for why? For literally the worst prank. Like, Ding Dong Ditch was invented before fun. Before kids even...
Did you ever do the Ding Dong Ditch?
Maybe, probably,
Yeah.
But I grew up pre-internet. Like, I don't even think kids do this that much. I just think that, on a serious note, I remember back, I had an ex-girlfriend, and, one of our arguments that we got into a few times was walking her dog. The dog would like stop and sniff in front of people's places. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. I'm not a weird, paranoid, somebody's going to shoot me guy, but I just always felt uncomfortable as a black man standing in front of somebody's property for a long time. The dog was little, probably couldn't have been seen, and it's one of those like he was scouting my,
Right, right.
and I thought about those arguments after we started covering those stories where people were getting killed for there was the one where the young I believe he's in Mississippi, the young black boy knocked on this old white guy's door because he was lost and he needed directions. He was like a 10-year-old, and the guy shot him. I don't know if he killed him, but he had permanent brain damage. It's just a horrible story. But and I believe that old man was prosecuted too, but he was like 90 something. So it's just like it's these stories are sadly not that uncommon in a society in which we deem that everybody is allowed to be armed, whether you have mental health checks on your record. We don't want people to have a waiting period. We don't want background checks. We don't want any of that stuff. And I think that's why these stories, when we cover them now, you don't see the outrage. Like, we need to get Congress to do something. We've all been beaten into submission. We know Congress is going to do nothing.
About guns, never.
Nothing. So we just kind of, and now thoughts and prayers aren't even, everybody's just like, we don't know what to say. I mean, the last shooting we had in Minneapolis, the people were at church. In South Carolina,
Kids,
those people were
children.
Yes, the members of the church in South Carolina, they were in a church and they were killed. So clearly, praying don't do it. Michael Dean, let's talk about Howard Stern.
Yeah, so there has been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors that Howard Stern's Sirius XM radio show is going to end. He, of course, signed this mega deal with them, 5 years, $500 million. It's $100 million a year. His contract is up at the end of this year. And he's, they're coming back from hiatus. He was supposed to talk about this and address it. There was even a promo that teased that this was going to be addressed and he was going to finally, go on record about all these rumors on September 2nd. And, earlier this week, on Tuesday, he posted the promo, but he had X'd out, or someone had X'd out September 2nd, and it's now been delayed to September 8th. So Monday we are going to find out. Now, the rumor, of course, is that the contract negotiations are not going well, that I'm guessing Sirius doesn't want to continue paying $100 million a year for Howard. I'm not really sure what, ultimately what's going to happen. It seems like people are just expecting that the show's going to go away completely.
Right. It seems like it's going to go that way. And in a way, it makes sense because if you think about it, when that initial Howard Stern deal with Sirius was taking place, Sirius was kind of like this unknown entity. Satellite radio was kind of seen as the Wild Wild West. Back then, radio was king, especially before internets and podcasts. Radio DJs got paid $20-30 million a year. There were these big stations, all over the place. New York City had famous DJ. I feel like the only ones that have really maintained their place are the people at the Breakfast Club. Yeah. In terms of like haven't really slipped at all in terms of popularity. But, the radio in New York City is different because the artists that make that new music is there. So they still debut new music and they play different things than kind of an affiliate would and, Southern Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel the same way about, like, I know this is lame, but I'm a huge NPR fan, but KCRW in LA, they have fantastic music. And, it's the same sort of way where musicians come on specifically to debut new music there because it's, besides New York, it's like the music capital of America.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, Howard Stern, if you think about it, did his job for Sirius because that contract
100%.
was supposed to bring eyeballs and attention to this fledgling new platform, which is satellite radio. Everyone knows what satellite radio is now. I think it comes in most cars.
Do you know when he began working for them?
No.
2006.
Right.
And, Howard first went on the air in 1985. He was nationally syndicated the next year. So he's been in American homes for a very, very long time.
Right. And really, ground zero for the shock jock.
Mm-hmm.
And that era came and went, and he still managed to survive it.
Yeah, and
when a
he's
lot of
evolved.
shock jocks did not.
Yeah.
He's evolved his thoughts. He's fairly or very progressive. And I just think unless they are going to make it a podcast, I'm assuming their listenership has dropped substantially, and there's no way to justify a contract like that. They couldn't even justify, even though I think there were other things going on, a large contract for Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing maybe the end of an era where you just have these hosts that make as much money as now an entire television network would pay all of its executives.
Well, and I think it's got to be hard, after 5 years and $500 million to sit down and sign a contract and make less. I've been in a situation where a show I was on ended because the talent wasn't willing to take less money.
Right.
And it just meant that my job was over. And I believe there are like 95 people that work on that show. And, I feel for them right now because apparently an email went out about this. I think it alluded allegedly, or, sources say, to some sort of, family medical emergency or something came up and that's why they delayed this. But, your job, you're wondering, am I going to keep my job? Is this going to be a thing?
Right.
By the end of the year, or am I going to be out of a job? I just hope that whatever Howard decides that, he does right by those people. Cause they didn't make $100 million a year.
No.
And, a lot of those people depend on that income.
Right. I mean, Howard is kind of notorious, and he's spoken on this with he doesn't really throw the cash around. So I wouldn't hold my breath. And, a lot of those people, I think his position was, and I could see you taking this position of, yeah, I'm not paying you a lot, but the platform is what's going to pay you. You go get paid off of other things that you get from this. So
do you want to guess how old he is?
Okay, he started in 85. I'm going to say Howard is 73.
Yeah, it's very close. 71.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty close to retirement age. And if he made that kind of money, and he could definitely go on to write all sorts of books or more books, and I imagine a daily, radio show or Sirius XM show, it's a lot of work.
It probably is, but the question is, what else is he going to do?
Yeah.
I think that's the harder question for people that are retiring. It's like, yeah, Dad, you have enough money, your pension, your 401k is full, but it's like, well, now what am I going to do? And I think the idea of doing something else than what you are known for, the only thing that you are known for, the thing in which an industry was built around, now who are you?
Yeah.
You're just an old guy that used to be on the radio. And I think that's hard for people to process. No, I don't think for Howard it's been about the money at all.
So wait, let's talk about someone else who apparently is redefining themselves in the public eye. Someone very well known.
Okay.
And I'm talking about The Rock.
All right. He's well known.
Yeah.
His name is in these streets.
Right. And apparently earlier this week at the Venice Film Festival, he was sobbing. Now this, of course, was good tears. He got a 15-minute standing ovation.
Enough with that. Tired of it. There's nothing that The Rock did that deserves a 15-minute standing. Oh, shout out to The Rock. I'm sure it's fine, but stop.
So
what did he do?
So real quick, this is a big turn for him. He visibly looks different. He is not huge like he used to be. And
how'd that happen?
Well, he's playing this character. This movie's called The Smashing Machine. And it's, quote, the most is unlikely any movie he's ever made. He is playing, it's a drama about a mixed martial arts fighter struggling with doubt and drug addiction.
He's going to try to do some acting.
Yeah. So there's Oscar buzz about this. So this is not him protecting some building that's on fire and saving his family or, any of his typical action film things. This is a drama, and a new era
Right.
for The Rock.
I mean, shout out to him because that takes a lot of balls straight up because we're in an age where I think a lot of movie stars made flops, but it was 1997 and it's just like you kind of skip over that one. You're like, well, the next year I made Minority Report, so it was fine. But, now if you make a bomb, people are going to be all over you, especially The Rock, TikTok. If he thinks he can act, I mean, when you don't have to subject yourself to such criticism, you could just keep doing what you're doing and no one would complain. And you decide to do something different. I really respect that artistically. So shout out to him.
I completely agree with you. And, I'm curious to see, and it's got to be so rewarding that this turn actually resonated with people and that he got that. And because it's got to be so nerve wracking to be like, am I throwing all of this other stuff away because I want to take a risk and do something completely different?
Right.
That I'm sure is, much more vulnerable, takes a different kind of muscle, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of actors that successfully made this turn. I
was going to, that was the next question I was going to ask you.
Do you remember when he went from funny to drama?
What did he do those drama?
That's a great question. I think the first one was the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I don't know what that is.
It was a very good. There's the Man on the Moon. He's got a couple where
Man on the Moon. Okay.
And what was the one where the Truman Show? That was also a drama.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and he pretty successfully went from being a stock character, to having more depth. I'm sure there are plenty of other actors. I mean, Will Smith made the turn.
Absolutely, he did.
And I don't know. I'm curious to see how Rock's take on this. He's still playing an MMA fighter,
right?
So,
but it sounds like he's gonna go behind the cage, and show what dealing with the idea of, and maybe he's feeling a little of this internally, because I mean he's still a jacked guy, but first of all, I don't know how he's ageless. How old is he?
Yeah, that's a really great story.
What do you guess before you look? I say 53.
I'd say he's in his 50s, probably early 50s.
Right, and that workout routine and that
53.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I swear that was a guess. Yeah, I mean he's been with us for forever in one fashion, and that's as this hulking sex symbol superhero guy,
right?
And maybe he doesn't feel like that inside anymore, and maybe
it's becoming a little unbelievable, for audiences to suspend belief and lean into that,
right? Leading men have a shelf life,
right? I mean,
wait, who's the next muscular leading man?
John Cena?
John Cena, 58.
He's 48.
He's got it. I mean,
so Austin Butler, that movie opened, over Labor Day that he's in, and it's semi-action. He's not huge,
right?
But
wait, who played Superman?
Oh,
this latest Superman.
That's a great.
Because that was greeted with warm.
David Corenswet.
Oh. He didn't have a famous name.
No.
Gotta change that.
I might have mispronounced it.
It's got to be like David Sunshine or something.
He was very handsome, though.
Yeah.
The piercing blue eyes.
Yeah. It's and for as much as we know The Rock, you also have to remember, what does The Rock look like to my kids? The Rock looks like a guy that's 30 years older than them. You need a Rock equivalent for people that are 20 years old now that'll grow up with him.
What's your favorite Rock film?
Oh man, I don't know if I have one. Oh, no, that's not one. Which one was it? I don't know. I don't know if I know any Rock movies. Is that
really?
Crazy? Is that weird? I don't know if I mean, was he in Fast and the Furious? I've never seen those either.
Yes, he was in the one Hobbs and Shaw spinoff.
Oh,
I believe.
can you list some of the Rock movies? I'm so embarrassed. I don't know any.
Okay. Fast X. He played Black Adam, Red Notice, Free Guy. Let's see what else we've got. Let's see some Jungle Cruise. He played in the reboot of Jumanji, Central Intelligence. Gosh,
Those are like
Faster,
movies that are
Five
on when you're at
Fast.
the dentist office.
The Mummy.
Yes. Well, the Mummy is near and dear to me because the Mummy is what I would throw on when I was a middle school teacher. If my kids were good, I would put on the Mummy, and they would.
It's a good
kids
movie.
Love
It's a
that.
good movie.
Some of the acting in that could kill a horse. I mean, horrible line readings. They weren't even acting; it was just line readings. But you know what? The kids loved it, and he is an action star, and that is a different skill. And I do like that he's testing out this different muscle. So shout out to The Rock.
My favorite, just to get it out there, is Moana, which
Yes.
I love that film, and the music is amazing, and he sings in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Which is pretty cool. And but
He's super talented.
he is very talented. So I guess that if he really committed this, clearly Venice liked it, and all this Oscar buzz. So we'll see. I look forward to seeing this.
All right, Michael Dean, what else you got for me?
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about one of the best divers in the world, Greg Louganis.
I remember him.
He was in the news earlier this week. Yeah. He was the one that hit his head, right? Am I crazy on the board? And then he came back and still won on the diving board. As a young kid, he was also one of the LGBTQ plus
Was he out
icons.
at the time?
I don't remember when he came out. I think it was after his Olympic
Right.
medals.
I don't know if this country was ready for while your career is going.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, he won 5 Olympic medals between 1976 and 1988, and he is now 65 years old, and he is uprooting his life and moving, and he sold, in addition to his house, he sold 3 of his medals, 2 golds and 1 silver, and he was very honest about the reason why. He said he needed the money.
I love it.
And it's interesting. He went to auction, and apparently he said in this Facebook post that the expert told him not to be honest and not to say I need the money, but he did it anyways. And those 3 medals netted him $437,000.
Yeah.
Which,
good for him.
That's certainly, you can't spend a gold medal on, objects at the store, so that's cold hard cash, which, he's moving to Panama. Not really sure why, but
Probably a way cheaper cost of living.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what you can get in Panama for $400,000?
Well, I'm going to have to look now.
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I mean, we're talking about you could probably have 4 to 5 people taking care of your house for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Cooks, cleaning, and I could see there's a lot of Americans that moved to Central America for retirement, but just in general, for him selling the medals, they're just a symbol of what you did. He still has the memories of actually doing that. I just think if they're not bringing you joy, but they can't bring you $500,000, turn them in.
And it's kind of interesting to me because, selling those medals, you might not have the symbol of that victory or that achievement in your life, but I'd imagine at a certain point, especially in your 60s, that's less important to you than the memories. And, it's not like that achievement is going to be taken away from him.
Right.
And what are you going to do? Just have these medals on a shelf? You're going to keep them in a safe?
Yeah.
He works so hard for that gold. Going for the gold, that's the whole point of it. But at a certain point, is it about that gold? It's not about the actual gold.
I don't think. And our Olympians are always in such a tough spot anyway because it's a very hard thing to monetize. You see that a lot of our Olympians now are doing OnlyFans because they're hot and in shape and well known, and that's kind of the direction that's going. But if you think about if you played pro baseball, after you play enough seasons, you get a pension and you make enough money even if you're not a star, to have a nice life. But the Olympics, best you maybe do 2 or 3 of them over the course of 12
Right.
years, and you've got and you're not in the public eye all the time. It's only every 4 years, so you got to get your money the way you can. And really, our Olympians,
Sponsorships.
like, they were, a lot of them work at Home Depot. No shade,
Right.
but like they have like regular jobs. So I
Yeah.
could see one of them being like, okay, if I give you these medals, I get to have a 9-bedroom house with 4 house
So
cleaners.
I was looking at it like you can get a high-end brand new condo in Panama City downtown, some of the better neighborhoods. You could also buy oceanfront properties, multi-bedroom condo, or a house in the gated community with the beach access.
For what?
For $437,000.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean that's what AI is saying. So you have a bunch of choices. You're absolutely right. Uh, and real estate investment can help you qualify for residency programs, and it requires a minimum investment there for $300,000. So you buy that house, you get a Panama residency, and it's maybe an easier, softer way.
I say good luck to you,
Yeah.
Mr. Luganis. You did your you definitely served this country admirably. Now enjoy the rest of your life looking at that sunset going down over that ocean. Come on, man. That's in my opinion, he won twice. That's super dope.
Yeah, good luck. And thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
Like that's, that takes some balls, and saying that you need the money, I don't think that makes you weak.
I think it makes you extremely relatable.
Yeah.
And you know who else is relatable? You are, Michael Dean, as you have killed it this week for us.
Oh, are we not going to do any unpopular opinions?
But let's do one.
Oh boy. Here, this is a good one. Barbers should ask if you want to talk during the cut.
I think this is
akin to the
Uber
rides,
yes.
the silent Uber rides.
As somebody that has spent the better part of his life sitting in a barber chair, I definitely agree that this should happen, but this will not happen. I don't think because Uber lets you do it on the app.
Yeah.
So you can discreetly say, I don't want to talk. The face-to-face, I don't want to, because then the next time when you do come to talk and they're like, no, you told me to shut up last time, so let's just get this done.
Right.
There have been times where, especially when I lived in LA where I had an audition, I had to get a haircut, and I'd be trying to go through my lines while sitting there.
Yeah.
And they're like, so anyway, if the Yankees think they can trade their 2 best pitchers, I'm like, sir, I cannot talk about this right now. But you don't have the words to say that. So you end up engaging in a conversation that you don't want to have. And that is kind of pointless. And honestly, I've had great barbers, but I had a barber when I lived in New York City, and I loved him, Dominican dude, but he would just like turn the clippers off and just start talking to me. And I'd be like, dude, we've been in here 40 minutes. So he'd be cutting my hair and he'd be like, so then she says, I need to be out of the house by Friday. And I'm like, how am I I'm working. So I'm like, dude, can we
get on with
can we
things?
cut and grieve? Cut and grieve. Like he just would not he would just stop cutting my hair and just open up to me. And I was like, sir, I couldn't, it was a great haircut. But sometimes I just don't think you're in the mood unless you have an exceptionally close relationship with your barber. I think it on paper, it makes perfect sense, but in reality, feelings would be hurt.
So I've gone to the same barber here in Colorado, for 8 years now, and I'm very particular about this. I go almost every Friday.
Okay.
I have fallen asleep in that man's chair, and he did not bother me or say anything about it. I think on multiple occasions, which is kind of weird.
I think just the humming noise of the clippers, it just puts people to sleep.
Like,
it's like the airplane engine. Sometimes you're just like, oh.
Because I would leave DBL on Friday, and that I would go immediately there,
Right.
and just after a long week sitting in the chair, finally done, like all the stress gone. And, I think I could definitely ask him, can we just not talk? And I don't think he would be offended. But I have a close relationship with him. Like I celebrate his kids' birthdays with him.
Oh my God.
They're family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really close relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I like that kind of, relationship or community.
You just talking about this to you, gave me this flashback to the funniest incident that I've ever had. My barber, when I lived in LA, there's this guy, I'm not going to say his name, even though he was one of the guys that was ahead of the curve on Instagram. He's a good looking dude.
Yeah.
And he dresses very like boho, almost like a dandy.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And he used to cut he was so funny. And one time he was cutting my hair and he just stopped cutting my hair and he goes, I'm gonna have to change a name. I'm gonna have to change a word here. But he goes, why did I have to throw up off the bus today? Like literally grabbed him by the collar and threw him off. Like he then showed me pictures of, I guess somebody had made a comment to a woman and he played college football.
Yeah.
He grabbed the back of this dude's collar and marched him down the bus and threw him off of the bus and just showed me this picture of this man that was a crumpled heap. And he'd like showing me this. Well, I'm like wearing the barber apron and it was just like, you live a life that but yeah, shout out to my boy. I'll send him this clip, but I won't say his name. I'll include it if he's cool with it. But yeah, your barber, he used to make me laugh, but sometimes barbers just open up to you about their personal life.
Yeah, or
and
vice
you feel
versa.
like you don't need to be there, and they would still be saying the exact same thing. So it depends on your relationship. If you're going to birthdays, then I think you're good enough to be like, hey, let's have this be a quiet sesh.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, and with that said, Night Owls, appreciate you guys riding with us always. So on behalf of Dude IDK Studio, Michael D, filling in admirably all week. I've been Al Jackson. Make sure to check out Erica, accidentally informed her and Claudia Jordan. Check out Tori and I on Friends from Work every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Thursday. And you can catch us right here Tuesdays and Thursdays on Daytime After Dark.
Fridays. Tuesdays and Fridays.
Damn it, I messed it up.
You were so close.
Tuesdays and Fridays.
And real quick, where can I catch you this weekend?
Oh, yes. And make sure if you're in the Colorado area, it's Friday night. Come on. Come out to the Hotel Baldorado and see me at Comic Sense Comedy Club. I'm there Thursday, which is yesterday. You missed that, but you can see me tonight and Saturday.
Twice on Saturday, right?
Twice on Saturday. Yes,
Yeah.
2 shows. Thank the Lord for Michael. He's my stage mom. So he's like, smile, do the turn. So yes, you guys come check me out this weekend if you're in the Colorado area. And if not, check me out every day streaming on Daytime Talk After Dark. Night Owls, hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.